Lawrence Guy, it's Gresh and Keefe. How are you today?
I'm doing good, and you guys?
Good. Well,
Yeah, more or less.
we got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out how to process last night. We asked Hunter Henry that question earlier, so let's start there with you. How do you kind of process what went down in Gillette Stadium yesterday evening?
Well, for one, we just got to go out there and play better. Two teams went out there to compete, and one team was the better team. But there was a lot of situations on defense where we could control better, like being able to handle the quarterback runs, the scrambles, and overall this compete. We dropped the ball on that one, and we can't keep doing that. And we got to learn from what the mistakes that we did yesterday night. Is we have to compete every single down.
Lawrence, what goes into those third down breakdowns where it seems like a number of times you might have had Justin Fields kind of bottled up and then he's able to get out of there and pick up the first down? Is that just strictly execution? Is it communication? What kind of leads to that?
Well, we just got to tackle better. And also, we have to understand he's a good quarterback, and he was able to he's elusive. And that showed. We knew that coming in the game, and we knew we had to make sure we kept in the pocket, and that he's not able to scramble. And then we just literally dropped the ball on that one, and we got to do better on that one because we know we're going to face more quarterbacks that are able to scramble, and we need to understand how to keep them in the pocket, and how to make sure they don't gain yards running to the side or getting first downs. And I think we started off good and towards as the game got on, and that we kind of faded away a little bit, and that we can't have that. I think this film right here is going to show us some good things that we need to learn from. And I felt like this is a good, like, hey guys, we got to compete. Like I said, it's a big, like, hey, we got to compete every single down, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the circumstances is. If it rains, snow, or any diversity that we get put in, we have to continue to compete on that field.
Lawrence Guy with Gresh and Keefe here on Patriots Monday on a Tuesday after a rough loss on Monday Night Football. Lawrence joins us on the Harbor One hotline. You came into the league in 2012. You've seen 10 years of pro football and the evolution of the running quarterback. It feels like it's gone from, Lawrence, guys who throw the ball well but can move a little bit, to now the quarterback run, even outside of Lamar Jackson. We know how heavy they are, but other teams like the Bears and others really incorporating true run plays for the quarterback. How has that changed things in your eyes over the course of your career and kind of changed things for your defense and trying to slow some of those guys down? Because some of them do it differently, but it's the move quarterback that's been a problem.
Yeah, once I got in the league, the rules have changed for one. When I got in the league, when it was more quarterback, you was able to hit them any type of way. So we were protecting the quarterback a little bit more. So the rule changes are there, and that's why you probably see a little bit more the mobile quarterback able to do a lot more than what they were back in the past. We can't forget Michael Vick. We can't forget Cam Newton, RG3. Big Ben was a mobile quarterback. He did what he did, and you can't. You just can't Donovan McNabb. You can't ignore those quarterbacks. It's just a different rule change, a different style of the league now. But as we get on, the quarterback's a lot faster. They're able to do a little bit more. But that gives a big emphasis on making sure that we can maintain them in the pocket. We are understanding leverage on certain things. I'm not saying that they're not going to make plays. Like, they're there to make plays. They're really good athletes. They do their job good. That's why they're in the position that they're in. We just got to be able to contain those plays that they do make and make sure they don't make big plays when they do it. And that's what we have to understand coming into the game. Like, hey, we got to make sure we eliminate these big plays that he had. We have to make sure if he does scramble, he doesn't get a lot of yards. He doesn't control the game on his feet. And that's something we have to watch the film. Like, hey, this is what we have to do to adjust to that and then when he does do it, reset the play and continue to keep going. And that's the adjustment I know we're going to make once we put the film back on. It's like, okay, we understand who we got coming up next, and we understand what we got going on to the rest of the season, and we need to make that adjustment.
I know you're on the defensive side, Lawrence, but were you aware that the plan was to play both quarterbacks last night?
No, the whole thing I was worried about, it was my first game back. I've been out for 3 weeks. And my mindset was like, hey, how can I sit here and contribute to the team and make sure I can do the best I can to make sure I don't let my brothers down next to me when I'm on the field. That's pretty much the only thing that kept going across my mind. Hey, you got to go out there and play your hardest, compete every single down, lay it out on the field. Because you just don't want to let people down when you sit out for about 3 weeks.
Well, not only, you're out 3 weeks, but then you ended up playing even more last night than you had in any of the games prior. I think no Barmore is a contributor to that. But how are you feeling today after all the snaps you got last night?
I'm feeling pretty good. That's a big question. Like, hey, how do you feel? I feel pretty good. I felt like the rehab program and everything that they have me going on the last 3 weeks with the conditioning and making sure everything was going, if I could get back on the field and continue to do what I was doing, was a huge success. And that's just the hard work I've put in. That's the hard work that they put in on me to make sure I was going to be able to be game ready as soon as I got back on the field. And last night I was just sitting there being blessed, understanding hey, it's a blessing to continue to play this game because you just don't understand when it's the last snap and when it's the last game you're going to play. And last night, with all the whole circumstances going on, I was just the gratitude I had, the blessing I had, this every single down. It was amazing feeling to have to be back on that field.
Did it even register with you, Lawrence, that there had been the switch and that it went down the way it did? I mean, again, it's not your side of the ball, but you're on the team and you're aware of what's going on. Did it click with you during the game what was kind of unfolding?
Yeah, everybody saw the switch. Yeah, the switch happened. We all saw it. But, again, that was one of those things like when you're a defensive player, only thing you worry about is supporting your teammates and whoever's on the field to make sure that they hear your support and making the adjustments on the sideline to what you just did on the field and how can you guys play better. And that's pretty much what we did. Whatever happened on the offensive side of the ball happened, but the biggest priority for us on the defensive side of the ball was fixing what we had to do to make sure we didn't let the game get too out of control and contain the running back, contain the quarterback, and do our responsibilities.
Lawrence, last thing for you. I know part of the reason we asked, did you know what was going on, is because some players on offense apparently didn't exactly know sort of what the plan was at quarterback. And after last night, it felt like, I don't want to say doom and gloom, but it was down. Are you worried at all that this team could fracture given everything swirling around this group right now?
No. My hopes are high because you see what happened in the last couple of weeks, and you see the passion that we're putting in the game. We can't forget about that. The passion comes in and out of this game in this league shows through the way we compete and the way we do stuff. Like last night wasn't a good situation for the whole team itself, but that's just something you have to understand. It's going to be a long season, and we got to continue to go and go. Because you win a couple games don't mean you're going to win the next game. You got to compete every single game like it's your last one.
Well, Lawrence, glad you're back. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Always great to catch up, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, friend.
All right, thank you.
There goes
Thanks,
Lawrence Guy back in the lineup last night.